Hello and welcome to Smash Hits Sports. I'm your host, Cody. And welcome to all of the people who are going to watch college basketball after the Super Bowl. I know that there is a huge contingency of fans who like, all right, NFL is over. We need something like we don't have, like the NBA's in the middle of the season. We got the All-Star break coming up, but college basketball is about to get to its absolute peak. We are, 30 something days until Selection Sunday?
I think it's 33 from right
Oh,
now, which
it's
is
beautiful.
that's just brilliant. We are so close, less than 5 weeks away.
Yeah, and this week has been absolute chaos. So if you are listening, first time, long time, whatever, make sure like the video, which is a huge help to us, a huge help to the pod, and then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything going forward. That being said, we are seeing some ridiculous upsets this year. I saw a statistic on the old Twitter.com, X, whatever it is now. We have seen historic top 10 upsets. So top 10 teams are being upset greater than 50% of the time on the road this year. I think it's 51% of top 10 teams on the road end up losing. Why? It's insane. We've never. I
That is
think
so
the
crazy,
next highest was like 32% or something like that. It's absolutely
dude.
absurd.
Honestly, like like think about that stat long and hard, and it just will never make sense how because it's. I think if you dive deeper into it, almost all of them are to unranked teams. Like this is by
Yes.
far already, I think we've set the record for most unranked teams beating a ranked team in a season. And we still have 33 days left until we get to the postseason. Like this is nuts.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. And it's not like we don't have, like, we still have some dominant teams. Like, Purdue has looked dominant. Like, UConn
Purdue and
has looked
UConn, right?
dominant.
Yep.
Like, but even then, like, some of the teams at the top of the sport right now, those, like Purdue, 2 road losses to unranked opponents, Northwestern and Nebraska. Like, UConn's losses, I think one of them is an unranked home loss. You
Seton
have,
Hall,
yeah,
I
like
believe
North
Seton
Carolina
Hall was.
losing unranked against Clemson this week. Like it's been Tennessee losing against unranked South Carolina last week. Absolute absurdity across all of these unranked games. It's made like I have to watch every game now because you never know what's going to be an upset. It's absurd.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. And I don't want to say it's like a little bit more predictable because I mean we're obviously still struggling in the pick'em. Not that we're doing poorly, but like this past week,
This was a
we
tough
thought
week.
we were kind of thinking like, oh, 16-0, it's coming. Neither of us got close. We'll get there later. But I will say the confidence that I have when I see like the number 13 overall team going on the road to play an unranked team, the confidence I have in that unranked team to win is exponentially higher than it was 5-6 years ago. Now I'm like, I'd honestly be surprised if the ranked team did win. And so I think that is helping with a little predictability as far as the season goes. And it's been awesome in that sense from a gambling perspective, for me at least. But I was also thinking on Saturday, it just came through my head. I was like, we might need to make the AP top 25 like an AP top 50. Like, because there are so many teams that deserve to be ranked.
Dude, there are so many teams just outside the AP top 25 too that are so damn good. Like Indiana State has finally made its way into the top 25 this year, which like obviously huge dubs. We've both been high on them. But we're sitting here now, like Utah State is outside of the top 25. They're incredible. Utah State, Colorado State, San Diego State,
Yeah, they're
three
all like
Mountain West
right there.
teams.
Yeah,
They're all going to be in the tournament. Like they're all right there.
they can all beat
Um,
anyone. Like Cody,
yeah.
remember like 20? Go back to 2011, 2012, when it was basically if you're unranked, that meant in the eyes of everyone that you weren't good enough to beat really a lot of these teams at the top of the rankings. Like you're a good
Yeah.
team, but like and this is crazy, but I do stuff like this. But I watched the 2011 selection show just in full like 3 days ago, just because
Nice.
I was like curious about what it felt
You're a
like.
real degenerate, and I love that for you.
Yeah, I was just getting nostalgic. I was like, I wonder like what the vibe was like for that. And I watched it, and Clemson actually got in as a play. It was the first year they did the play-in games, and VCU with Shaka Smart obviously was in
Yep.
that, and they make the Final Four. But Clemson had 0 ranked wins, and had they were 57th in net with 0 ranked wins all year, and they made the tournament. And I'm sitting here like, Jesus H. Christ, people are talking about Clemson missing this year's tournament, and we have like 6 ranked wins on the road and are like 15th in net. So it's just kind of crazy, the disparity, because it used to be like, yeah, you're a decent team, but you're not close to being able to beat 1 seed Kansas or whatever.
Well, even like last night, Texas Tech, who is just outside of the top 25, they had the 3rd most votes of those others remaining. They beat number 6 Kansas at home by 29.
Yeah.
They held Kansas to 50. I mean,
exactly.
Which shout out to McCullough because he's doing a hell of a job as a coach. But like, it's absurd. We have no idea what the hell. Texas A&M beat the piss out of Tennessee. Auburn got boat raced by Florida.
They were up by like 35 at one point or something like that. And just to finish my thought, I guess, because this is sort of what I'm saying, but you have your Floridas, Texas Techs, Texas A&Ms, all the Mountain West teams. Clemson's right there on the votes with like Gonzaga, who goes into Kentucky and wins, right? There's basically, I would say, 20 to 25 teams that could beat every single team, even UConn and Purdue. I don't care, every single team. And that's nuts, because if you add 20, 25 teams to the top 25, a lot of those teams aren't even going to get in the tournament, because there's only like 40 spots for the at-large or whatever it is, like 35 spots. So just crazy competitive balance right now in college basketball is at its peak.
We're also in a really weird spot, and maybe we talk about this when we do like the bracketology seed list, but we're in a weird spot too, where if Drake wins the Missouri Valley, like that could be a 2-bid league.
Oh my God, we have some bid stealers. Yeah.
If South Florida wins the American, that could be a 2-bid league. Like there's
all that does, Cody, is that takes that last team in and kicks them out, which is brutal.
It moves the line for the bubble, which is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
So, dude, this is going to be down the stretch. Like, I really think there are some of these conferences that, like, the American is one that just jumps out because FAU and Memphis haven't played yet. But, like, there are some of these conferences that are going to come down to the wire. And conference tournaments, I think this year are going to matter as much or more than they ever have in terms of seeding, who gets in, who gets out, like where the bubble is. It's going to mean so much for college basketball. Conference championship weekend is going to be must watch.
Oh my God. Well, not that it already is, like, or isn't already, but did you see my post about the bubble line and the doomsday scenario for the bubble teams?
I did look at it briefly. Why?
Because I feel like I talked about USF and Drake, but there's also like Richmond with Dayton, right?
Yep.
There's your crazy scenarios like if Grand Canyon, who some people think would get an at-large berth if they didn't win their conference tournament. There's like Stephen F. Austin, who I think has the same coach that they had. Like, they're still, like, a season program. They could go win. That moves the bubble line down even more. It could get to the point where if right now we had, like, Ole Miss as a 10 seed, let's just say, or something like that, there's a scenario where they don't make the tournament strictly because, like, 6 or 7 things happen in the conference tournaments. And that's bonkers to me.
Yeah, insane, because they're a damn good team. Like,
yeah, a lot of good teams, man. A lot of good teams. It's nuts. All right.
So speaking of absolute legends, let's do this. Will they be remembered as a college or pro segment? Because I'm interested to see what you cooked up here. Little new segment alert.
New segment alert. It's interesting to me because obviously we're talking like we do college sports here, but so let's try to remove our bias and just think from like a legacy standpoint. If anyone who listens to the podcast is an NBA guy and not necessarily a college basketball guy, you're just tuning in for the first time, you might hear these names and not even know where they went to school, but we're going to find out. Are they a college legend or are they an NBA, like on their gravestone, what's it going to say? And we will start, Cody, with a guy like Josh Hart. I am interested in what your thoughts are there.
Ooh. See, the thing with Josh Hart is like in college, he didn't have a ton of like personal accolades, but he's got the title.
I think he won
He's
Player of
got
the
the
Year.
national title.
I think he won Player of the Year. I believe
he won National Player of the Year.
Is that or Big East Player of the Year? I don't remember off the top of my head, but it might very well might have been national.
That's okay. Damn.
I know, right?
That's nuts. Okay. So looking at it, because he won the title in 2016. He was all first team in 2017. Big East Player of the Year, but I'm not seeing National Player of the Year.
Okay. Yeah.
But like in the NBA, he's never been an all-star.
No, yeah.
I think in my mind, he's a college guy. Just because I do like that 2016 national championship was one of the greatest national championship games ever played. So I will say
like that.
Yeah.
That 3-year stretch that Villanova had was just so elite, so electric that for me, like the next one here is Jalen Brunson. And I personally think he's officially now NBA. Like you close your eyes, you're like, that's Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks, crazy free agent signing. Everyone said, how could you sign this backup point guard to a $30 million per year contract? Turns out that contract's the biggest steal of all time. He's a god. But Jalen Brunson won 2 natties. Like, for a while there, he absolutely would have been a college legend, but I think he's pro now. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I agree with Jalen Brunson. He's a pro, especially because like I understand that Josh Hart's in New York now, but like what Jalen Brunson is doing for the Knicks and like carrying the Knicks. Yeah. If you win with the New York Knicks, you're an NBA guy. Like,
right.
It just is what it is.
Josh Hart's not putting up 28 and 11 every game. He's putting up like 8 and 6. But all right, how about Fred VanVleet?
Ooh. I would say NBA just because he's got the ring. He's got that ring. He signed that ridiculously large contract. Like he was a pivotal part of that Kawhi team in Toronto. And like it's not like this is a franchise. Like Toronto's not a franchise that has a ton of rings, right? Like
no.
So it's not like it's the Celtics or the Lakers or whatever. Like he won a ring with Toronto. I'm gonna go NBA guy.
Yeah, and I think I agree. Because it's tough because it definitely makes me think Wichita State. But I think a guy like Ron Baker, or like Anthony Early, pretty much Ron Baker is like what you think of. You're like, Wichita State, remember Ron Baker? It's not necessarily Fred. So, and there's also like Landry Shamet, which would kind of be a good one. But, all right, what about Gordon Hayward? Ooh.
Easy and college for me. Easy college.
You are an Indiana guy.
But like because those national championships were because he was only in the first one and then he went pro and it was Matt Howard and that Butler team in the second one. But like that first national title game and how close that half court shot was, I will never get that image out of my head. I will never get that image out of my head against Duke.
Yeah. And if you've watched sports ever in your life, you've seen that clip of Gordon Hayward just an inch away. You've seen the sports science about it. He's got to be Butler legends, but it's wild because he's had 12, 13-year NBA career, made an all-star team. Like he's been great in the NBA. And like the Celtics injury, I guess, on like the opening game like that. I think but I agree. He's got to be college for me. What about someone like Lonzo Ball?
See, I don't. To me, he's NBA, but he was an NBA guy when he was in college. Like in
He was
college,
already NBA when he was in
he
college, you
was an
think?
NBA guy. Yeah, like he was watched in college because of what he was going to be in the NBA. Like he was never like he was great in college, but that UCLA team didn't like they didn't do anything.
Yeah, made the
So
Sweet 16, I think, and lost. That is
yeah,
an interesting point though, because yeah, like a lot of these guys like that stay 4 years feel just so much more collegey. Although
yeah,
Lonzo Ball in the NBA hasn't necessarily built a legacy. It's just in
yeah.
college he was already NBA, so that's interesting.
And
What
like this is
about
a hold on
yeah,
before
no,
we
what
go to the next one. This is a guy that
yeah.
like your poll. I was surprised he went as far in terms of like March Madness legends or whatever your poll criteria was on your Instagram
Yeah,
story. Kyrie making it past round one's insane to me.
I
He
know.
played
He
like
played
10 games
13
for Duke.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like that was
It showed me a lot of my followers and just a little bit of NBA bias, which is upsetting. We need people to lock in, watch college basketball.
yeah.
Like you got to go, you got to focus your energy on college hoops. I'm telling you, it's the best. All right, Grayson Allen. I feel like that's an obvious one.
Oh yeah, that's a college guy for sure.
Yeah. What about
However,
Grant
he's doing
Williams?
ooh. See, Grant Williams is tough because he plays for the Celtics. And like
Yeah. Well, not
that
anymore. I don't think. I think he's. I don't know the Mavericks maybe,
yeah. But I
but
I
he
just
was on the Celtics and he was very much like a pinnacle focus of NBA media for a while.
yeah, and see what sucks is like my my test is what jersey do I see them in first? And
Mm.
it was the Celtics green before it was the Tennessee orange. So
Okay, see,
I would probably say NBA.
for me, this is the first one I think we differ on because I think I would go college.
That's
I
fair.
mean, I close my eyes, I just see that Tennessee orange, but it is really close. Um,
That was a good one.
John Wall's
Oh,
tricky
see,
because like I feel like his legacy at Kentucky, like the song came out, like "Do the
yeah,
John Wall." I think that's when he was at Kentucky, which is nuts. Um,
his
and
high
then the
school
Wizards,
tape is
people
one of the
don't.
coldest ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
People don't really fucking talk about the Wizards ever. So it's not like he was forefront of the media in the
yeah.
NBA, although he had a great career. It's a tricky one.
Like if I had to think like what are people going to talk about like a decade from now with John Wall, like like he is a 5-time NBA All-Star. Like
Yeah,
that's tough.
but it's
He only
just like
played 1 year in college, but like
he did.
I was in middle school when the John Wall song came out. Like
Yep.
that was my fucking I loved that. So I will probably think of him in college, but I'm probably in the minority. Like I'm sure a lot of people watching this are like, you dipshit, it's definitely NBA.
I'd be very interested to see if people agree or disagree. I think for me, it's NBA. Again, I'm a Wizards fan, so it's going to be NBA, but I totally see college as well. Let's do like
So we
two
differ on that
more.
one. Okay.
Um, yeah, so we do. Let me write that down. So there's a couple obvious ones out here for college. I think like Buddy Hield is college,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
and
easily. Pacers
someone
legend.
like
Damn.
someone
Trade.
like Obi Toppin. I think we would probably both say is college. I don't think he's done enough in the NBA.
And it would absolutely be even more college if we had the tournament in 2020. Like if we had the
Right.
tournament in 2020, that wouldn't even be a discussion.
Um, and then so here we'll do these last three down here. These are the ones I think are really interesting. We'll
Okay.
start with Kemba Walker.
Dude, Kodiak Kemba.
Yeah,
That's not even
gotta
a
be,
question. The UConn
gotta be
run, yeah, it's Kemba.
yeah
That shot
immortalized.
against Pitt. Oh,
Yep, 11 straight wins to win and cut down the Nets. But again, crazy because Kemba Walker was a big NBA name for a
oh
long
yeah.
time, like big. But I think every time like he was successful in an NBA season, you would still be like, oh, UConn man, Kemba Walker, UConn. And then this might be a similar thing. I'm a bit too young for this actually. You might be in the right age demographic, but JJ
Fuck's that
Redick.
mean? Oh,
Did
JJ
you
Redick
watch
is
him?
college, dude.
Did you watch him in college?
JJ
'Cause I
Redick
never
was
did.
college. He was the like he was the revival of the Duke hated white boy.
Yeah.
Like he was the because it was Christian Laettner, and then there like wasn't one for a while. He was the revival of that. He was Grayson Allen before Grayson Allen. Like he was everyone which
Yeah.
not like JJ Redick was not like a dirty player. The problem is he would cross over your favorite player and then fucking hit a three in his face. And like
Yeah. He was
it was
cocky, right?
it
Like
was relentless. It was ruthless. He was hated at Duke. So I can't like that's college for me all day.
I assumed so, and the thing is, I like never got to watch it. So when someone says JJ Redick, I honestly think of now JJ Redick and his podcast and working at ESPN and
Yeah.
all that, and I think of like Clippers, spot out
Mhm.
Sixers shooter, blah blah blah, that type of JJ Redick. I don't see him in a Duke uniform because we didn't watch it. I've only heard legend of it, so it's interesting.
Yeah, that was like
And then
right. That was my like honestly that first run. That's a first that I ever remember watching college basketball.
yeah,
Was like the JJ Redick into the North Carolina Tyler Hainsborough like
I remember the
era.
tail end of that Hansbrough, Ty Lawson, Wayne Ellington. I remember the '09 championship, I think might have been. And I think I watched a little bit of like the Memphis Steph Curry,
Yeah,
2008, all that. All right. Last one is Blake Griffin, who is probably the best prospect college basketball has ever seen, him and Kevin Durant.
he was on the cover of the last NCAA college basketball game,
Yep.
which kind of cements it. Like that's the only reason I remember Denard Robinson is because he was on the cover of NCAA 14. But yeah, on the cover of the last NCAA college basketball game, the thing with Blake Griffin and he was phenomenal at Oklahoma, but I have him as an NBA guy, and it's specifically because of one YouTube video of the Lob City Clippers.
Yeah.
That is the only like him, DeAndre Jordan, and Chris Paul were absolutely electric. He was just baptizing people on a basketball court. So I have to go NBA just because of that one highlight clip.
Which I think I
But he's
agree.
close.
That one's a really tough one, but I think I agree because you close your eyes, you're like, oh, I'm imagining him dunking over Kendrick Perkins, like just throwing the ball,
Yeah,
in
through the
basket.
hoop. Yeah,
It's just like, oh my god. But again, he never won a ring. Like it's not like the Clippers were making it even
yeah.
past the second round. But I think you still, even though he was so good in college.
Oh, insane.
But yeah, that's a tough one, man. There's a lot of guys that are kind of just they have both, which is really cool.
Okay.
That does it for our segment.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Oh yeah. All right. Here's mine. It's based off a little TikTok video we've got. So there are 10 spots, Nick, in ESPN's top 25 college basketball players of the last 25 years. So it's from 2000 on, essentially. They had to have played in the 99-2000 season, right?
Okay.
So I need you to guess the top 10 players in college basketball the last 25 years.
So
per ESPN.
You looked at this ranking and took the top 10.
This is per ESPN. This is not my bias. This is not like selected by. We could do a poll at some point of the people. I think that would be really cool. But this is per ESPN in an article written by Myron Metcalf.
Myron, nice. Okay.
So,
and when did this article come out? I should ask.
This article came out last year.
Okay, so
June of 2023.
Could really be on it.
Yes.
This is tricky. This is really tricky. Okay. I am going to start from the bottom and go as far back as I think I can, and maybe go with like Shane Battier.
Okay, Shane Battier is not in the top 10. He was 13th on this list.
Oh my. Right,
yeah. Okay. So very close.
Okay. So no Battier.
I do promise you know every single person on this list without a shadow of a doubt.
I can imagine. All right. If we go further down, Carmelo Anthony could be on there.
Carmelo Anthony is on here. He is at number 8.
Okay, Carmelo. Let's go. The next couple of years is tough because that was like Darren Williams, Illinois, Adam Morrison, Gonzaga. I don't think any of them are. Adam Morrison could be on there, but
Adam Morrison is not on here. Adam
okay.
Morrison is not inside the top 20.
But he's in the top 25.
He's 23rd. He's
okay,
23rd.
So at least he made it.
Yep.
Okay, those Florida teams, I don't think we're going to have anyone from those teams. Golly, is there like a Michael Beasley, Derrick Rose from 08?
Michael Beasley is at 11. You just missed the top 10 with Michael Beasley. Derrick Rose, I don't think Derrick Rose is on the list.
That would make sense. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I don't think there's Brandon Rush or Mario Chalmers from the 08 Kansas teams.
Nope.
I mean, Steph Curry was fucking awesome, but is he a top 10? I mean, I'll go Steph Curry, I guess.
Steph Curry's at number 5.
Okay. Interesting, Myron Metcalf. He was amazing, yep. So, like, I get it.
He had a 3-year run, too. Like, he was there for a while.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
And, like, made the Elite 8 at least, so a little tournament resume there. Okay, so then let's go Hansbrough 09. Hansborough's got to be on there.
Hansbrough is at number 6. Psycho T.
Hansbrough at number 6. And Steph at number 5.
I know, 20-8 with a national title and a Wooden Award. Like,
yeah, he should be ahead of Steph Curry. But okay, now we're in 2010, which is like John Shire, Nolan Smith, Kyle Singler. I don't think any of the Butler guys are going to be on there. I mean, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin. I guess I forgot. Like they could both be on there.
Kevin Durant is the number 1 player in college basketball the last 25 years per this. Averaged 26, 11, almost 2 blocks and 2 steals a game. Wooden Award winner, Big 12 Player of the Year. So, yeah. Kevin Durant, Texas is at number 1. Blake Griffin is just outside the top 10. I think he is number 18.
Okay. All right. So I got 4 guys so far.
Yep.
Okay, this is tricky, man. I'm just trying to go in order here and make sure I don't miss anyone. Now we're in 2011. That's where you have Jimmer Fredette come into play, so I will guess Jimmer.
No Jimmer.
What? How do you have Steph and no Jimmer? Okay.
Jimmer was 24.
Okay. 2011, Jimmer. Who else is even... There's like Evan Turner could maybe be up there. There's like Jawan.
There is a big 2011 player on this list.
There is?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
And you're going to be pissed when you don't get him.
Come on. I got to get him.
You'll get him eventually, but.
I got to get him. I got to think long and hard here. Who the hell? There's like. Is that like the Grievous Vasquez, Corey Lucius, Draymond Green?
You're way too in the weeds.
Oh,
dude.
Kemba.
Kemba Walker is number 20 on this list.
Okay, so
he is not
Kemba.
In the top 10. Yep, it is not Kemba.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Who?
He does have a national title.
He won the national title.
Yes.
Well, if we went to 2012, because I'm wondering if maybe they're thinking 2011, 2012. Is it Anthony Davis?
It is Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anthony Davis.
To me, that's 2012, but.
Number 2, fair. Number 2 overall player, 14-10, 4.7 blocks per game.
Yeah, his block highlight reel is insane in college. Oh my God.
It's absurd.
Nuts.
It's absurd. So you have in the top 10 left, you have 3 players from the same team. Not like the same school. 3 players from the same school. You have a former Big East, current Big 12, and then another Big 12 player in the top 10 that you're missing yet.
Wait, former Big East, current Big 12? So like West Virginia or something? Former Big East.
Maybe this team was not in the Big East, but I thought they were.
It could be like a Cincinnati, perhaps. Okay, Cincinnati.
It is Cincinnati.
Who the Sean
this is
Kilpatrick?
It is not Kilpatrick. This is the oldest player on the list. Wooden Award winner in 2000.
Oh no, that's gonna be really tricky.
long NBA career.
Okay, because that's interesting. Because I'm thinking all the way back. I'm missing guys like your Andrew Bogut, who was nuts on Utah. He's probably on the top 25. But okay, out of Cincinnati, I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'm guessing the one team has to be Duke.
It is.
And then I would guess Zion. I'm between it's like Zion, Jabari Parker, Grayson Allen, Jahlil Okafor would be my 4. I have to pick 3 of those guys, and I might be wrong on one of them, but I guess I'll go.
You're wrong on all of them but one. There's one that's on this list.
Is it Zion?
Zion is number 3.
Okay.
22 and 9 with 2 blocks, 2 steals. Crazy. The 2 steals is super impressive.
Yeah.
Other 2 Duke guys are older, mid 2000s.
Okay, mid 2000s will help.
And then one is 99 to 2002.
Oh God. But it's not Shane Battier.
It is not Shane Battier.
Which is crazy because I'm trying to. Oh, Carlos Boozer was on those teams.
It is not Carlos Boozer.
Well, let's go JJ Redick because I forgot.
It is JJ Redick. I was gonna say we just talked about Redick, so he's on there.
Yeah.
JJ Redick is number 7. Wooden Award winner 2006.
Oh my God. 99 to 02 Duke. Oh God. And then he's
a super well-known dude.
Is Buddy Hield? Is Buddy Hield on the top 10?
It is not Buddy Hield. You're right team, wrong guy.
Trae Young?
Right. It is Trae Young.
Oh my
Trae
God.
Young is number 10. 27, 8 and 2. So the 2 guys you're missing number 9, who is the guy from Cincinnati, and you are missing number 4, who is the guy from Duke.
And they're both old. They're both that 2000.
Yes, they are right around when you were born, probably.
Exactly.
The guy from Duke, you well known on TV all the time, well known NBA player, but specifically
it's not like
for
Grant Hill. Grant Hill was early.
Yep, it is not Grant Hill. Did win a national title, won a Wooden Award.
Yeah, because Duke won in 01, I think. And
yep.
And I remember that team. I do, because that was like Mike Dunleavy, Carlos Boozer, and Shane Battier. And then who the hell was the point guard? I don't know. I know.
He may or may not have had 81 points scored on him at one point.
No, wasn't that Jalen Rose? But he's.
Oh shit, not Jalen Rose. Never mind. Sorry, but he's on TV all the time, dude. On TV all the time.
Oh my
ESPN
God.
analyst.
Oh my God, I'm thinking so hard right now. Is he white?
No, he's black.
Okay. I just know Duke
from Duke, so I don't hate that guess, but
yeah. Fuck. It's not coming to me, but I know it. And I really don't think I'm going to be able to get Cincinnati without like a hint. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I know Cincinnati lore.
Yep.
Like that. So
yeah, he did. Okay, so the Blue Devil did not have a super long NBA career. He was drafted by the Bulls. Outside of that, he's been pretty much on ESPN straight through. 6'2", 195.
Yes. Jay Williams.
Yes. Jay Williams is the number 4 player.
Yes. And it's crazy because he actually was pretty much a bust in the NBA.
Yep.
And I kept thinking NBA, but he was true college, and he is a legend, and I'm glad I got that. Cincinnati, man.
He's got a goofy-ass shot form. Kind of shoots across his face. but he's a bucket, an absolute bucket.
And he's in the year 2000 is when he was in college.
Yep.
How long did he play in the NBA?
Let me look. The old Wikipedia. Okay, he was drafted by the Nets. He played in the NBA from 2000 to 2015. Long NBA career. Well, he had 1 year in China, but
is he a guard?
He is a guard. His most notable time in the NBA, he played for the Denver Nuggets alongside Melo.
So I was thinking Andre Miller. I don't know if that's.
It's not Andre Miller.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea where he went to college, if he even went. But okay, most notable alongside Carmelo and the Nuggets. I know AI was there. He went to Georgetown, which is, I wonder when he was at Georgetown. I guess earlier.
Yep.
There, I keep thinking like J.R. Smith, but it's not. I was thinking. I'm surprised. Like Jameer Nelson in the top 25?
Jameer Nelson is not in the top 25.
Okay, that's wild. Good grief, man! I think I have to give up. I don't think I'm going to get Cincinnati.
It is Kenyon Martin.
Okay. He was drafted by the Nets first overall.
Yep. Go rolling through the rest of the list real quick. At 12 was Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. Marquette.
14, Rip Hamilton at UConn, which is 96 to 99. So that's kind of old. Elton Brand at Duke, 97 to 99. 99 was a cutoff year for.
Yeah, I guess that's tricky.
Emeka Okafor at UConn.
Fair.
Dougie McBuckets at 17, above Blake Griffin, I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna guess him, but I was given all the data, so I knew it wasn't him. But
John Wall was 21. You guessed 19, Buddy Hield, Kemba Walker, John Wall. Evan Turner was 22. Adam Morrison, 23. Jimmer, 24. And then Brunson. Jalen Brunson was 25.
Good for Brunson to crack the top 25 there.
Yep. Yeah. So
that's a crazy list. I'm happy. I would say I got like 8 of those kind of truly, I would say.
Yeah.
Jay Williams, I needed some assistance on, and then I obviously missed Kenyon Martin.
Yep.
All right. Well, fun segment.
But let's roll into the bracketology seeding.
Yeah, and sidebar. I do think that from a time perspective, we could probably clip the bracketology and make it its own thing if you want.
Okay.
I think that might be a good idea because this I can see going over 15 to 20 minutes, not by long, but it'd be, probably a good standalone video. So we'll get right into it, Cody. And I kind of just will let you, pull up the net rankings if you want. You can pull up barttorvik.com and sort if you want to look at KPI and all of that nonsense. Just going to try to see if the tournament started today, who the 1 seeds, 2 seeds, 3 seeds, 4 seeds. I obviously post this twice a week. So I have my updated seed list. I'm going to go live on TikTok later today and talk about it. So we're just going to let you go kind of crazy here using your knowledge of the data points and see what you got. And we'll start with 1 seed. Who do you think the number 1 overall seed would be if this was Selection Sunday and I'm Greg Gumbel? What do you got?
I think it's actually going to be the Purdue Boilermakers. I just think they have a little bit better of an out-of-conference resume than UConn's got. So,
yeah, and Purdue has one of the best resumes I've ever seen at this point in the season.
Yep.
They have, they're 8-2 against Quad 1 and 15-2 against Quad 1 and 2. That is insane. That is so crazy. With a lot more to go. All right, who do you have at the number 2 overall seed?
I'm going to go UConn. Okay. They are 13-2 against Quad 1 and 2. 22-2 on the season. Great, some really good out of conference games. So I'll take UConn.
I think that one you could see maybe Houston getting there because Houston's number 1 in net, number 1 in KenPom. So there's a scenario there where Houston's number 2. But I think right now I would go UConn as well. Number 3,
I would go Houston.
Right. They are 8-3 quad one, but only 1-0 quad two. That's just life in the Big 12. Everyone's a quad one in the Big
Yep.
12, it feels like. And then that last one seed, this is where the debate kind of starts.
It's interesting. Maybe before last night, you could have said Kansas. I don't love Kansas. Um, the,
They
because a
fell all the way
lot of
down
these,
to 18 in the net.
I know, and a
Which is
lot of
nuts.
teams now have some like pretty tough losses, but I'm going to go Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tommy Lloyd, what this team has done kind of year over year. I'll ride with Arizona. I mean, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I think that if what you were saying a couple episodes ago is correct in the sense that they're just coasting through some of these lesser games, like the road game against Oregon State, they just don't put their best effort out there and they lose because they know that they're still probably going to get a one seed if they just try when it matters. And that's kind of what's happened. I think there's an argument for Tennessee. They have a pretty good resume. Obviously, they just lost to Texas A&M by a lot, and then I think North Carolina definitely has an argument as well. But it's interesting. So we will go to
Arizona, the only team in the top 9 in net that has a quad 3 loss, which is
interesting. That speaks volumes about their quad 1 and quad 2 and how much they're beating teams by. Because again, they're 10-4, quad 1 and quad 2. It's pretty good. So all right, 2-seed line, Cody.
2-seed line. I'm just going to throw in the two other teams kind of discussed there with that end of the one. Tennessee and North Carolina. Both of these teams, very outstanding, really impressive wins. I think at their peak, those are two of the best teams in the country. And then I'm going to throw in Marquette. I like Marquette a lot. They play Butler tonight. Should be a phenomenal game. By the time you're listening to this, that game's resolved, but that should be one of the best games of the week. Very excited for that one. It's at Butler.
I think Marquette could lose that game and stay on the 2-seed line. Butler's a desperate team. It's a road game. So I don't want people, like, if you're listening to this and you're like, well, Marquette just lost by 8 to Butler. I think there's still 2 in that situation. But that last 2-seed for you, Cody?
This is where it gets tough because do you go with the metrics or do you go with like wins and losses and kind of how these teams look? I hate to say this, but Alabama.
Okay. Wow.
Because if they, and I think they've done this in the past, I think they kind of will forgive early season misperformance. And I think a lot of Alabama's down was that 4-game stretch where they just went 4 straight L's, and I think they might
hold that
against
all against quad 1 opponents, I believe, if Clemson is still in the top 30 in net, which they are. So, yeah, I mean, again, the committee, if they see like, oh, tough stretch of play early in the season, but it happened to be all against quad 1 opponents, definitely not going to get judged that hard. They did just lose to Auburn by like 17 to 20 points, but they put up 110 against LSU on Saturday. I think it's between Alabama and Kansas, right? And you kind of went eye test a little bit more than anything because I don't hate that. I think personally, if you look at Kansas and their, they still got 9 quad 1 and 2 wins, which is, more than Alabama. I think you could definitely go Kansas there, and I probably would, but I don't hate that.
Yeah, fair.
On the 3-seed line.
Give me just a sec. I'm going to let my dogs in real quick.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
So. Hi. All right.
Okay. So on the 3-seed line for you.
3-seed line is tough. 3-seed line is tough. I'm going to throw Kansas on there because they were right at the edge of that 2-3. And then I'm going to throw on another Big 12 team. I'm going to throw in Baylor.
Okay.
I like Baylor a lot. I think they're damn good.
Yeah. I mean,
The 6 quad 1 wins. I mean, it's
I
pretty
still
damn
don't
good.
know how, like, because they're non-conference. They had that Auburn win early, which is great. They lost to Duke, but really they didn't schedule that many great games at a conference. You know, I think I need to see a little more. I do agree they'd be on the 3 seed or the 3 line right now, but it's not that I'm necessarily a believer. And it's also interesting now that we have Kansas. Like 2 weeks ago, we probably have Kansas as a 1 seed after they beat like Houston or whatever. They're back down to a 3. So that video about us talking about how they're fraudulent, maybe it's still true. Just don't
Ages a little bit better.
count your pennies. So yeah, ages pretty nicely. All right, the next 2 3 seeds.
2 more on the 3 seeds. I don't know if they're a 3 seed, but god damn it, they're 21-3. South Carolina. Like like I can't keep dropping them anymore. They have arguably one of the best wins of the season. Like they're damn good.
South Carolina is going to be. I'm so curious because this Saturday we get the preview, which is the top 16 teams. Like the selection committee will release it in the style of Selection Sunday. So curious to see where South Carolina is on there, if they even are on there, because predictive metrics like the net, where are they on the net? They
are
are
45th in the net.
Their KenPom is not that high. They, like, a lot of these metrics are like, okay, they're probably around an 8 seed in reality, but they're playing like a freaking 2 seed, beating Tennessee on the road. Like, they only have 3 losses on the season. You can't judge them that much, so I can't judge you for putting them on the 3 line, even if I would have them a little lower. I can't judge you at all. All right, last 3 seed.
Last 3 seed. You might hate me for this. Maybe it's because of their name over their resume, but I think they've been a little overranked all season, and they're probably going to be overranked when they go into tournament time.
Duke I know Blue who you're going to say. Yeah, and I do think that Duke is not as good as their ranking. Not that they're a bad team. I just really don't think they're as good. They're number 9 in the country. They don't play like it. If they're a 3 seed, I would say on our pod, I would be like, they aren't a good 3 seed. But that rounds out your 3 seeds, and then 4 seeds. Go.
So I'm going to start with Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good. Very
I have
good.
Iowa State on the 3 line. I think
on the 3 line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I could, if like, I would probably put Iowa State above Duke, but I just try to envision what they're going to do. Illinois is going to be up here.
I like that. I agree.
As long as they have Terrence Shannon, like, they're a damn good team. Like, they.
I don't judge them for that Michigan State loss. They were actually winning a lot of that game in a must-win situation, the most must-win game of the year probably for any team, and they almost won it on the road.
And then now we get into a weird spot because there are some teams that rank really well in the net that have some, like, really disgustingly bad losses, and then there are teams that are lower in the net that, like, I like quite a bit. Some Mountain West teams, some smaller, you got Dayton. I'm going to put Dayton. I'm going to put Dayton at the 4. If they win the A-10, they beat Richmond, they revenge that loss, give me Dayton. I don't feel great about it. I don't think they'll actually. I don't know if I can see them being a 4, but
I can.
Damn it, if we get some of these, because, like, a lot of the teams that are kind of up around here right now, like, do I see San Diego State getting another loss at the end of the year? Probably. Like, in Mountain West play, shit, they might lose this week. Like, so give me
Dayton has 4 losses. All 4 are quad 1 losses.
So my last 4 seed, I'm going to go with Auburn. SEC, absolute gauntlet. They're a damn good team, even if they do have that ugly loss to, well, Florida's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where you have Florida after that win, but we'll go on to 5 seeds.
The 5 seed line, this is the Mountain West. This is the whole. I might just put the whole Mountain West or teams in the Mountain West area in this 5 line. So
Yeah, this is
I'm going to
their home.
start.
This is the Utah area.
Yep, I'm going to start with BYU. The net loves
Classic.
BYU. They are absolutely elite. I know they're not a Mountain West team, but they might as well be in my heart.
Right.
I'm going to go San Diego State, who is a Mountain West team and is really good, and they're a Mountain West team in my heart.
They're also, I feel like they're just a 5 seed every year. That's just San Diego State for you.
It is. You can set your alarm to that. It is as consistent as it gets.
Exactly.
I'm going to go another Mountain West team. All right. You ready for this? We're going Mountain West to Mountain West to Mountain West. We're going to go Colorado State.
Okay. Like it.
Right. 3 Mountain West teams on the file. Well, kind of a Mountain West team. And then I don't love it. But I'm going to put them here. They've fallen hard and fast. And I think this is where the fall stops for now. But I'm going to go Wisconsin.
Okay.
I'm going to go Wisconsin.
They have 10 quad 1 and 2 wins, which is more than a lot of teams. You know, as much as people would want to just be like, God, they're playing ugly basketball. They're a freaking 10 seed. Got to be realistic. I have them on the 5 line, probably a little higher on the 5 line. Some people might still have them on the 4. I think this is a good spot for Wisconsin. I honestly would have said something if you let them fall too far. But
that was where this is where the fall stops.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could
6
continue,
seeds. 6 seeds. I'm gonna start Big East from the jump with Creighton.
Okay.
I think Creighton is they're a beautiful 6 seed. You know what I mean? Like they fit here. Could they make a run? Maybe. I don't know. 6 seed.
Again, they were a 6 seed last year. They did great. They like being a 6 seed. It's their home. I like that here.
They're a team that's absolutely slept on, the Virginia Cavaliers.
Wow.
I'm putting them in the 6 seed.
All the way
I understand. I understand that this may be a little reach for Virginia, especially where they rank analytically. Like they're 2 and 3 in quad 1, 4 and 1 in quad 2. They only have 6 quad 1 and 2 wins. However, Tony Bennett and the Virginia Cavaliers. I know I'm being biased there, but I'm going to throw them into the 6 seed.
Listen, I don't think you're that far off, but that might be a bit high on my end. But again, we're ripping Cody's bracket here, his seedless. So
we're going to throw in. I mean, the Clemson Tigers got to be.
Yes, sir.
They got to be up here. They have too many good wins. Too many good wins.
They do. They are 8-6 in quad 1 and 2. They have a couple quad 1A wins, which you can't see here on the net rankings. But, you know, again, that's like your road wins against the cream of the crop. You're looking at UNC Alabama, who you have as a 2 seed. You go beat both of them on the road. You know, maybe some ugly losses in here, but enough to be at minimum a 6 seed, in my opinion. I actually have them up as a 4 seed. And I try not to be biased. I try to just use my algorithm, but maybe there's a slight bias subconsciously. But I like them as a 6. I think that's the threshold there.
I don't hate it. And then the last 6 squad, I think this is tough because there's 2 teams that I want to put here, and I don't know if either one really deserves it.
Who are the 2 teams? Let me hear them.
It's Utah State and FAU.
Interesting. So, no, we're not considering Texas Tech quite yet. That's that big one.
I have Texas Tech in that next.
All right, so we're looking at Utah State, FAU.
I have Utah State and FAU because FAU's 3 and 1 in quad 1, but they have those bad losses, but they're in conference. But I don't know.
Listen, I don't think you can go. I think I have both on the 7 line. I don't think you can go wrong with either here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Utah State. I'm gonna go with Utah State. 6 and 1 in quad 2, 8 and 4 in quads 1 and 2 total. So we'll go Utah State.
Okay.
So where are we at now? We're at the 7 line.
7 line.
7 line. Okay. So give me FAU.
All right.
and then give me Texas Tech.
All right.
I think this is where I will throw in. Give me Oklahoma. Give me
I know you're a
Oklahoma here.
hater. I know you're a hater,
I
but
know I am a hater, but I do think I have to stop the hate a little bit.
at least for logic's sake, I think
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 line is kind of their home right now. That could obviously change, but yep, I'm with you there.
Yep. And then give me Florida here.
Nice.
This is where I'm going to put Florida.
Yeah.
They are 2-7 in quad one, which is brutal. However,
listen, but the thing, there are a lot of teams out there, Cody, that have only 2 quad one wins.
yeah,
It's just a pain that Florida has played a tougher schedule. I don't necessarily think they should be punished aggressively for that. So I'm kind of with you. I think I have them as the first 8 seed, so just 1 spot off from you.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And then this might be high, but they do have 3 quad one wins. I'm going to go Michigan State.
Okay. Michigan State on the 8 line. That Illinois win did do wonders for them. The predictive metrics love Michigan State.
Yep.
I don't think that's that high. I think if you had them on the 7 line, I would have judged you a little bit. I think the 8, 9, 10 range is where they deserve to be right now. So I like that.
Cool. So now we're sitting at the 8 spot, right?
We are on the 8 spot. We got Michigan State, 3 more.
Okay. We're gonna roll with Kentucky here.
Okay.
I think this is a talented team. They've fallen quite a bit. But I gotta go with Kentucky. They only they have 5 quad 1 and 2 wins, which is like lower than what you would hope for somebody on that line. But it is what it is. We'll go Kentucky. We're gonna go Washington State.
Ooh.
As my second Pac-12 team.
There you go. They're playing really good ball. Miles Rice.
Yep. We're gonna go 2 Indiana teams to round it out. We're gonna go with the Butler Bulldogs and Thad Matta.
Okay.
And we're gonna go roll trees, baby. Indiana State Sycamores.
Yes, sir. Wait, so you have Michigan State, Kentucky, Washington State. So you have 1 spot left in the 8.
I have 1 spot.
What team do you want?
Oh, that's disgusting, and I hate it so much. I hope that this is the 8-9 matchup. I hope it is Butler, Indiana State. That would be awesome.
The way you have it set
then they
up
play Purdue.
Yeah,
and then they play Purdue.
Exactly how you have it set up.
God, that's my Indiana dream.
That's awesome.
I'll put Butler at the 8, Indiana State at the 9, so then I can pick the 9/8 upset.
Yeah, you gotta have some upsets in there. Okay,
yep.
So that, and I know you're an Indiana State lover. I think you're being a little more reasonable than I am, because you see them; they're ranked 20th in the net.
Yeah,
and I see things like that, and I'm like, whoa, holy shit! And they're playing really good ball, and they passed the eye test. I have them as a borderline 6 seed right now, but I do think you look at Joe Lenardi probably has them as an 11 seed, and I see that, and I'm like, okay, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt a little too much, but I believe in them a lot.
I just the Missouri Valley outside of Indiana State and Drake is okay. So it's like they did all their work early, and the other thing too is they did it. If they would have had one of those quad one, they have 1 quad 1 win. But if they would have had one, if they would have beaten Michigan State, that would have done wonders for them.
Or Alabama, and they lost by double digits. But again, with that, if you're still that high up in the net considers all the strength of schedule stuff. So it's I see a world where they definitely are in between where we both have them, maybe on that high 8 seed line, something like that. But okay, so I like that. 3 more 9 seeds for you.
3 more 9 seeds. We're gonna go with St. Mary's. The WCC stinks, but we got to put a WCC team in here. So I'll throw in St. Mary's. This is where I'm also going to throw in Nevada.
Wow, Nevada.
I
Nevada over New Mexico.
I see the I'm stuck here with Nevada and New Mexico.
You can put them both if you want. Um, it's. I mean, that's tricky. All I know is I think they play maybe even today. I think
Yeah,
at like
maybe.
11 p.m. But
Yep, 11 p.m.
Nevada went into New Mexico, and New Mexico smoked them. That's the only thing for me.
Yeah,
Whereas I think they have pretty similar resumes. Nevada actually has more quad one wins, but it's that head to head right there.
yep. We got two more spots on the 9 seed.
One more spot. You got
One
Indiana
more spot
State,
on the 9 seed.
St. Mary's, and Nevada.
Oh, yep. Okay, then I will throw in. Um, I said FAU, right?
Yeah, FAU you have as
Okay.
your first 7.
Then I'm going to throw in Texas A&M.
Okay.
I'm going to throw in Texas A&M.
I like
I think they're a phenomenal team. They have some good wins. They're not a phenomenal team, but they're a good team that has some good wins. Like they
They
have
were
5.
battling some injury early as well. I do
Yeah,
think they're a really good
they
ball
have
club.
5 quad 1 wins. Like
They're a good team.
that's yeah.
And I didn't believe that until I watched that Tennessee game at
Yeah.
full strength, and I was like, okay, I see it now. I get it now. I had to move them up a good chunk.
Okay. I'm going to start rolling teams here a little more quickly. 10 line. I'm going to go Ole Miss. I'm going to
Okay.
go New Mexico.
Okay.
I'm going to go the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Nebraska. And
Yeah.
here, see, now I have some interesting thoughts on that, but give me your last one.
And then I'm going to go this is tough. Do I want to put them this high? I don't know if I want to put them this high. Let's go Mississippi State.
Okay.
Let's go
Got both
Mississippi
the
State.
Mississippi teams in here.
Yep.
My only thought there is you got Nebraska in as of right now. We're heading to the 11 line. We got no sign of Northwestern. Northwestern did just beat Nebraska. They both obviously are the teams to have beaten Purdue. Not necessarily judging. I think you could go either way there. I would have Northwestern higher than Nebraska, though, for sure.
That's fair. Northwestern's the next on my list.
Right.
Yep. So for this is the 11 seeds, right?
And you got to give 6 here.
Yep.
If you remember, yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna go with Northwestern. I'm gonna go with Richmond.
Okay. Richmond gets that automatic bid out of the A10.
Yep. I'm gonna go with.
Or do you have them just making it? Is that it doesn't really matter, but it could go either way. I think they might need the automatic bid, but
yeah, that's fair. Maybe I'll go Drake instead of Richmond because I do think one of these conferences I do think is going to end up with 2 seeds or
I agree.
2
I think,
and I think
but
Drake's
okay.
a better team. So give me Drake.
I do like Drake. The net likes Drake a lot as well.
Yep. Give me James Madison.
Okay. JMU up on the 11 line.
Over App State for the Sun Belt.
Oh, but you're giving them the auto bid because these next 4 have to be your playing games.
Yep.
So JMU obviously can't be in the playing game if they win their conference.
Okay.
So we can move Northwestern down or Drake down, or move JMU to the 12th line. That's up to you.
I don't know because I don't know what makes the most sense. Fuck.
I think moving them to the 12th line makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Let's move them to the 12 line.
Yep.
Who do I want to throw in here then? Oh, it's disgusting. I might have to pick another Pac-12 team.
Yeah, I know, right? This
All right,
is the
fine.
juicy part, though.
I'll pick another Pac-12 team, I guess. Give me Colorado.
Colorado is that first playing team for Cody.
Yep.
First 4. You got Colorado.
Give me Texas.
Juicy.
Give me. Who else can I pick here? TCU.
Okay, TCU.
And then have I picked Boise State?
No, you have not.
Boise State.
Okay, Boise State, and I think this is kind of where Boise State belongs right now. I think they're probably still right just in.
Mm-hmm.
But, people might argue, oh, Big 12, TCU, Texas should be higher, but nobody really knows because they, again, didn't really kill it in the non-con, so I can see that. And then Colorado or Utah were kind of your Pac-12 choices there. Utah has definitely fallen off. Colorado obviously just got smoked by Arizona again, so it's tough.
Yeah.
But
Arizona was an underdog in that game. That was the freest money in the world, by the way.
I know. It was insane. Oh, my God. But, okay, let's look at some snubs that you had. You snubbed St. John's. Wake Forest.
I don't love St. John's. I don't love them.
I don't think you snubbed anyone crazy here. St. John's, Wake Forest, Cincinnati.
Wake Forest seems like a first 4 out team, and that's heartbreaking because they are like a really solid, consistent squad.
Yep. I think I had them in the first 4 out. They lost to Duke yesterday and didn't cover the spread by 1. I think because of that, I moved them down, moved Cincinnati back in. Let's see. You snubbed Gonzaga. I also don't have them in.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Not sorry. What are we looking at here? Fucking Providence. Not that like Memphis, not that many teams that I think you really missed.
Let's go.
And then if you want to just rip the 12 through 16 line, I don't know how you're going to really be able to do that off the top of your head.
No. There's no shot. There are some teams that I think are going to win their conference. I think Eastern Washington's going to win the Big Sky. Cool.
But
but outside of that, there's not
15 seeds, right? So I think we can just call this, your 1 seed through the bubble kind of list. We don't have to pay attention to all those mid-majors. And that wraps up your bracket, which I think is very interesting. We'll have to check back on that by season's end.
Yeah, we'll do a hindsight is 2020. So a month out, roughly.
A month out. And I have mine. I posted mine, but not that much is different. I guess I could just rip through, just speed run this, just if the viewers are curious that don't follow me on Instagram. But we got Purdue, UConn, Houston, Arizona on the 1 line. We got Tennessee, UNC, Kansas, and Marquette on the 2 line. So only difference there is Kansas, Alabama. On the 3s, I have Alabama, Baylor, Iowa State, and Auburn. You moved Iowa State and Auburn down. On the 4 line, I have Illinois, Duke, Clemson, South Carolina. So Duke and South Carolina, you had on the 3. I have on the 4. Obviously, I have Clemson very high, 5 seed. Dayton, Wisconsin, Creighton, San Diego State, 6 seed. I got Oklahoma, Indiana State, BYU, Colorado State.
That's high for Oklahoma, I feel like, but I don't hate it.
I think just being in the Big 12, I like their resume more than I like FAU. Also, I posted this before Texas Tech beat Kansas, so I actually think I would probably have Texas Tech on that 6th line, maybe slide down either Colorado State or Indiana State or even Oklahoma. But on the 7, as of Sunday, FAU, Kentucky, Texas Tech, Utah State. 8 seeds, Northwestern, TCU, Florida, St. Mary's.
Okay.
Biggest differences there are that TCU and Northwestern
and
are
TCU,
lower for you for sure. 9 seeds, I have Virginia, Texas, Michigan State, New Mexico. 10 seeds, Washington State, Boise State, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. Again, we're kind of in the same range here. 11 seeds. I have Utah, Nebraska safe. And then the play-in game is Nevada, Mississippi State, which is funny because I think they were in the play-in game last year. And then Butler and Wake Forest. The only difference is you had Butler up on the 8 line. I have them in the play-in game. But we'll see tonight because they could easily move.
Big game.
And then my snubs were St. John, Seton Hall, Gonzaga, and Cincinnati are the first 4 out right now.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Let's roll into this weekend's games for the picks, or this week's games for the picks.
Yep.
I had a brutal week last week. I went 6-10. I'm going to be honest. I was dialed in on the Super Bowl, and I was doing my Super Bowl props,
Yep.
which all of them fucking missed. Every single one.
Yeah.
I went 0-6-1 on my Super Bowl bets. And then I went 6-10 in the basketball pick'em. Just not a good week for me. Hey,
your head wasn't in it. Your head wasn't there.
I was sick, dude. I was sick. I was congested. I had a cough.
You weren't thinking right. It's not like I ran away with it either, Cody. I could have taken advantage, gone 12-4, really just pummeled you into the dirt. But no, I barely crossed the 500 threshold. Went 9-7, which I think I started 2-5. So that's a pretty
you did. You started
comeback.
Started tough, but so you are up 58 and 38. I'm at 54 and 42. So you got a 4-game lead heading into this week. We got a lot of differences. Tonight's games, which if you're listening to this, these have already happened, but so we won't talk a ton about them. Marquette Butler, you have Butler, I have Marquette. A little sneak peek. We also split the Butler game on Saturday. So
so we one of us is going to be unhappy, I think, because I don't think they're
either way.
Butler's leaving.
Yep. Either way, I think Butler goes 1-1. Iowa State at Cincinnati, really interesting game at Cincinnati. I have Iowa State winning this game. You have Cincy. Like that should be a phenomenal game. Coin flip for me. Like should be a great watch.
Yeah, just the desperation aspect, and obviously ranked team going on the road to unranked team. The statistics we discussed earlier.
Pitt at Virginia. We both picked Virginia. They're playing suffocating defense right now. Just absolutely suffocating defense. St. John's at Providence. You have Providence. I have Providence. I think that kind of reflects. We both have St. John's on the first 4 out. So that checks out.
And it's hard. It's just a real tough place to win in Providence. Devin Carter masterclass game. I think it'll be close, but got to go Providence there.
The donk. Colorado State at San Diego State, a Mountain West masterclass. You have Colorado State. I have San Diego State. I'm taking the home team in this one.
I think that's fair. I think San Diego State's been great at home. I think Colorado State's not been great away from home. So this is kind of like will we see that, big time flip in the Mountain West where we're like, okay, now we have maybe the road team can win, and I'm kind of predicting it here.
Yep. Then huge Big 12 matchup, Oklahoma at Baylor. I'm taking Baylor. You're taking Oklahoma. I like Baylor. I like this Baylor team at home. They're on my do not bet list, so I will not bet on them. However, I got to pick them for this one. They're a really damn good team. So
and again, the reason you have them on your do not bet list, I've obviously noticed the same trends, the same problems. I think they're finding themselves in close games a bit too much at home. I think there are some other teams that run away with it, especially against an Oklahoma team that you don't really know who you're going to get. And in the scenario that we get a good Oklahoma team, a good McCollum and Milos Uzan and Owe, like the guards just play really well. I absolutely think Oklahoma could do it, so I'm taking a shot here.
Yep. Wednesday night, Xavier at Seton Hall. I have Xavier. You have Seton Hall. I think this game could go either way. Both of these teams fighting for their life right now.
For their life, yeah.
Yeah.
Seton Hall's reeling a little bit, so again, I can see it going either way because it's either like, okay, Seton Hall just had the master class start to the Big East, and now they're just falling back down to earth, or they, they were reeling because of something else, and they kind of figure it out, get back to playing good basketball.
Yep. South Carolina at Auburn. This game is going to be fucking awesome. Awesome. I cannot wait. I picked South Carolina just because I have to. Mentally, I just cannot not pick South Carolina at this point. Everything screams Auburn in this game. They're going to be favorites by probably 8-9 points at home, and they probably should be. I'm going to pick South Carolina anyway. So
yeah, I'm glad at least I think you nailed it on the spread prediction. I think it's like, anywhere from the 7 to 10 range, because It is bold to pick South Carolina, and I am going to go Auburn. I hope it's a good game. I think there's a way that it's like a 20 to 25 point win for Auburn, but I hope it's a good game. I want South Carolina fans that are listening to know that I as a Clemson fan, I'm not hating. I'm not. I want them to succeed. I need that for the net.
Yep.
So, but I just don't know if I believe it.
Friday night, New Mexico going into San Diego State should be a good game. I'm riding New Mexico in this one. You're riding San Diego State in this one. I think it's part of, we have San Diego State, Colorado State flipped earlier in the week. So
yeah, and this
is
the thing. Sense. Like I could have chose. Like I feel like San Diego State has 2 home games. I think they dropped one of them.
Yeah,
I could have chose either team here. I went with Colorado State. New Mexico probably needs the win more. So hindsight, I might look back and say, damn it, why didn't I flip that? But I'll stick to my guns and say, whatever.
We'll see how she goes. Saturday, a really awesome slate. Creighton at Butler. I will be at this game. Super excited to watch it in person. This first matchup was insane. Both teams scored almost 100 points each in regulation. That being said, I'm going Butler. I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to be rooting for Butler, and I'll bet on Butler. And I hope that they win. This did me being at this game influence my decision on this pick? Yes, it did. So I'm going to be very honest.
And I mean, that first game was electric. I was supposed to, we were supposed to go to this game together. Things fell through. It would have been an awesome game to go to. They scored 200 points with no overtime against each other. But when, Butler goes on the road and wins, Creighton knows they have to go get this one on the road to even out the metrics. I think they can do it. So I'm going Creighton.
Yep. Then we have Texas A&M at Alabama. This should be an awesome game. We both have Alabama in this one. Kind of surprising, but Texas A&M's coming off that game against Tennessee. I don't think they can do that back-to-back games.
Yeah. And
well, I guess I'm sure they play somebody during the week this week, but
they might not, honestly, but I just think at home, Alabama, it'd be crazy if A&M won that game, in my opinion, but it should be fun.
Huge Big East matchup, Marquette at UConn. I'm going with the home team here in UConn. You're going with Marquette, which is interesting.
I think this is, arguably the game of the year from a, ranking standpoint, from what it matters. Marquette's still alive in the Big East right now. They need to win this game. Like, if they lose this, I think they go 4 games back with just, obviously 3.5 weeks to play. So that would just pretty much lock it up. I think if Marquette actually cares about winning the Big East regular season, you're going to get their best effort. And because of that, I'm going to go with Marquette.
Fair. Kansas at Oklahoma. We both have Kansas in that game. I think Oklahoma is going to be pissed off this week.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because I do have Oklahoma winning on the road earlier, but if they do that, I think that's a big win. And I think Kansas, having already played their game this week and losing by 30, they're the pissed off team, in my opinion, in the sense of let's go get a win for the love of God. Maybe McCullough's back by then. I don't know. If not,
we'll see if his injury status.
Pick, honestly, but going Kansas.
Yep. Utah State at Colorado State. Awesome Pac-12. Awesome Mountain West matchup. We're both going Colorado State here, so taking the Colorado State at home. Kentucky at Auburn, another phenomenal game. This game is going to have all of the points. We're both going Auburn. Kentucky, have the rails fallen off?
Seems like they have. I will be rooting for Kentucky in this game because, again, I do like their team and I like the players and I love the talent and I want them to be good. But, if I have to project 5 days out, there's nothing in me that's if Auburn looks bad against South Carolina or something, maybe I can see it's just something happened with Auburn, Kentucky go take advantage. As of right now, I can't do that. So give me the Tigers.
And then we have FAU at South Florida. I took South Florida in this one. South Florida is 8-0-3 against the spread in conference play this year. They have been an absolute wagon. I've bet on them damn near every single game. That being said, I'm still riding with South Florida because fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, I mean they get to host FAU at home. South Florida, I think, is 9-1 in conference, and FAU is like 8-2. It's
I think
something
they're
like that.
10-1.
10-1 and 9-2, maybe something like that.
Yep.
And that is nuts because you win this game, you got a 2-win cushion, depending on what happens with the Charlotte 49ers, I guess. But
Yeah.
massive game for South Florida. But I think a lot of these teams are beating FAU when they get to host FAU. You know, just because like the pressure is not necessarily there for either team. This is a really high stakes game for the AAC, and I think the talent will prevail. Although South Florida has a ton of hype, man, they got 7-foot giants all over the place. So I actually had USF originally, but I switched it to FAU once I thought about it a little bit more. So, and
Hell
that
yeah.
makes the 10th game that we differ on, Cody, which is crazy.
Yep. Going to be a huge week for the rankings. Who knows? Maybe we both go, 9-9 or 8-8 or whatever, 8-8, and
It's
end
happened
up
before.
right
It
back where
happened
we started.
2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
Yep. So if you guys like the pod, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to try to put out some more social clips, but should be a good time. We're also going to have hopefully some more unique videos coming soon after college basketball season. But we are right in the middle. We're getting prepped for March Madness. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything, because this is going to be one hell of a tournament, Nick. I cannot wait. But we'll see you in the next one.